Good morning and welcome to Primac Teleauction, coming to you live from the studios of Darling Downs TV in Toowoomba through MVQ Mackay, RTQ Rockhampton, SEQ Wide Bay, SDQ Southern Downs and NEN Tamworth. Your Primac auctioneer is John Erbacher.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to Primac Teleauction. I'll have the pleasure of offering you today's catalogue of 1,800 cattle, all from top Queensland breeding herds. Teleauction is a new and an exciting concept of selling livestock in Queensland, encompassing 14 bidding terminals from Mackay in the north through a vast area of central and southern Queensland and into New South Wales to Moree and Tamworth. And so I extend a welcome to Primac clients and friends and also to kindred agents who have joined us today. Thanks for the courtesy of your interest and your attention. Just a couple of ground rules that I think are fairly important for all of us. Of course, we'll all have to keep an eye on the clock. We've only got 1.5 hours. So I'll ask for your cooperation there. Secondly, I'll just ask you to refer to your catalogues, particularly for the extra detail which you might seek. Of course, the video will show you very clearly the cattle, but there is some extra detail from our assessors in your catalogue, and that will be important to you, particularly for New South Wales buyers in relation to the tick lines in Queensland. The cattle will be knocked down to the bidding terminals, and we'll be able to advise you of the individual buyer shortly afterwards. Also, we intend to take $5 bids initially, but as the bidding progresses, I certainly will reduce to $2.50 bids. And finally, perhaps right at the back of your catalogue, there's a sheet for delivery instructions. And if you are a buyer, and I hope that many of you are, I'd ask you to please let us have your delivery instructions in writing so that we can complete the arrangements for you. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for your help. I think it's time probably to get teleauction underway. And so I refer you to lot number 1. On account of the Pownall family from Wingfield at Monto, and they have the pleasure and the privilege of offering the first consignment of bullocks in today's auction. Glorious cattle they are. They're well known in Queensland. Magnificent growing cattle, described as 26 to 28 months old, Santa Gertrudis bullocks. All right, for your competition, the magnificent big growers. You look them over and work them out. What sort of money might they be worth? Somebody got 470 for them. 470, 60, 460. Who's got 50? 440 is quick, and away we go with Gatton. Right, 440, I'm bid a bid 440, I'm bid a bid 440 is the money. 5, right, 50 to Mergen, 55 the room, 60 to Gatton if you like it, sir, 65 to Mergen, right, 70 the room, right, 470, I'm with the money at Mount Lofty, right, 472.5 Gatton, right, 472.5 the money, 5 the room, right, 475, 7.5, right, 477.5. The bid at Gatton Terminal, right, 477.50 the money. Magnificent growing bullocks, they're top cattle, sir. Right, 477.50 and about to sell out. Yes. 480. Right, 480. Just a moment. 2.5. Right, 480, 2.5. The stick up, time's up. Right, 482.50. Lot 1 coming up. The money with Gatton. Right, 482.50. Are you done quickly? And they're sold. Sold at Gatton Terminal. We'll advise you of a buyer at 482.50. Thank you very much, Gatton. Ladies and gentlemen, I refer you to lot 2 in your catalogue. Hereford bullocks, Queensland's top area, Hydesvold for the bullock area. 2-year-old bullocks on account of the Bancroft and Company from Hydesvold. We know these cattle well, they're ticky cattle of course, and described as only 2-tooth still on the 15th of February. Great cattle, beautifully grown as you can see, conditions outstanding. Top bullocks, who's got 470 for them? 470 to start them, 60. Somebody give me 50, the top bullocks. 450. 440 at Dolby. 50 is in the room, and I thank you, John. Right, 450 the money in the room. 5 to Toowoomba. 460 the room. 5 is Toowoomba. 470 the room. Right, 472.5 will come back to Mergen. 75 the room. 77.5 Gatton. Right, 480, I thank you, John. Right, 480 is in the studio terminal. 82.5 Gatton. 5 is Mergen. Right, 485 the stick up. Right, 485, 7.5 Gatton. He just came and I'll dwell a moment for everyone else. Right, 487.50 with Gatton. 90 to Mergen. At 492.5 with Gatton again. 492.5. Top bullocks you buy. Genuine age and condition. 492.50 the money with Gatton still. Last chance to look and buy. Done quickly. Gatton again the bar at 492.50. Thanks very much to Tom Grampruff. They're a lovely yarding of cattle.
The sale by auction, or to sell by auction, implies the sale of any property, whether real or personal, of any kind, by outcry, knocking down of hammer, or any other mode whereby the highest or any bidder is the purchaser, or whereby there is competition for the purchase of any property in any way commonly known and understood to be by way of auction. These definitions are included in the Auctioneers and Agents Act and relate to pastoral house auctioneers. To date, we have covered the definitions of an auction and an auctioneer and some of the history of auctions. Now let's look at the mechanics of auctioneering. The patter or outcry comes with practice. Let's listen to a few of Primac's men. The first step is practice, practice, practice.
101, 2, 14, 16, 18, 102, 2, 24, 26, 28, 103, 32, 34, 36, 38, 104, 104, 2, 44, 46, 48, 105 going once, 105 going twice, 105 third and last call, 105 gone.
Don't try to call too quickly. Take it easy.
5, 2, 5, 4, 105, 4. Dudley Stafford. Thank you, Dudley.
Introduce a series of standard introduction phrases into your selling. Practice calling where the bid is, and according to your area's common practice, taking bids in the increments in use, so that the adding of bids will become second nature. For starters, it is good practice to call the closing in the 3 knockdown, going once, going twice, going 3-time calls. The patter is the mechanical side of auctioneering. Now let us look to becoming a top auctioneer. When I say auctioneer, I should say salesman, as a top auctioneer must have the qualities and drive of a top salesman. A top salesman uses professionalism to achieve his aim. He does not look for or sell on discounts or giveaways, as he knows these offers will always be matched or beaten. Selling isn't having a competitive edge in commission rates. If this were so, we would not have stock to sell, because the marketplace is full of deals and commission rates or favourable treatment. The professional edge is achieved through the use of the fundamentals of salesmanship. The first of these starts with your visiting the clients. Here you must present well, not only in the dress, but in the way you present your expertise in knowledge of markets. To achieve market knowledge, study the market for all types. First-hand information gained from attending sales is the best, because you can see the stock, note the prices, and in the field make comparisons. The marketing buying pattern of most graziers is stable from year to year. This pattern can be utilised as a contact tool to ensure you are showing the basic selling skills of enthusiasm and interest. That is, you show a desire and willingness to help. Use their pattern as an ongoing contact method. If he sells off summer grass, make contact from February on. If he fattens off oats, make contact a couple of months after planting, or start quoting oats fattening cattle in March. If you can get to this stage, you are still not a top auctioneer unless you recognise what you have been about. Always realise you have been entrusted with the sale of stock which represent your client's income. Carelessness, lack of interest, or slow price advice are factors which will lose his business, because remember, it's his livelihood you are handling. As soon as possible after sale, make contact and advise his prices. Discuss the prices and how the stock presented. Let him know if you contacted buyers. All of these acts assure him of your enthusiasm, interest and expertise. And then you may be called a top auctioneer.